Most of the problems that we have, although there's technical problems in nature, are logistical in the fact that we have ill-defined value adds and use cases for which the complexity in the data exchange, standard use of applications become even more complicated because people are constantly sorting through the data to find what they need. Is it within the quality they need it? And how they're actually going to be manipulating this data. And these are not very well defined.
Use cases provide the rationale behind the requirements coming from the OEMs to the supply chain. In this video, we're going to explore that.
What's unfair for the OEMs and the other partners working with these SMEs is they're not clear specifically what they're asking these SMEs for which exact data that they need in this model-based translation. They're monolithically saying, I want all of this and I want all of this coming back.
I mean, it's scary when you think about the amount of data that you're going to be getting from manufacturing compared to what historically has been managed in the cloud. You know, you talk about discrete time series data, you talk about like twins of the digital process, you start talking about massive amounts of data that come off of sensors on the machine. You know, it begs the question, are companies also ready for that?
I think right now, the incoming information possibly is not clearly defined, and the outgoing information really has not been clearly defined at this point.
They aren't really clear about what they're looking for. There's been times where they're asking about CMM, which is metrology data. They're asking for the analytics on the machines, even trying to get an understanding of the runtime on these parts, like minute cycles and stuff. And as a small manufacturer, you know, we're only a group of 20. You have to be very careful about all the things that you agree to do, just because there's not enough time, there's not enough hands to deal with all that paperwork.
We sort of want to tackle this problem monolithically in these digital threads. We send X over to party Y, right? And that's good enough. Well, the subtleties in the data exchange that we're having and understanding those details, whether it's within the standards or the applications that we use to do so, or evaluating the quality of that, is largely misunderstood.
The primes really don't have true requirements. They're pretty much asking us to figure it out alongside with them. And, you know, we don't just have one prime, we have multiple. And so to try to figure out which prime wants what, that also creates issues in our ERP system to try to get that data to capture. And so when you have one that is looking just for only the CMM metrology, but then you have another prime that's looking for the CMM metrology, but then also the analytics on the machine, and then you have a different one that is looking for a whole different set of requirements, it really creates a ton of paperwork, and we don't have those types of resources.
The byproduct of not doing things correctly is that the consequences get embedded into the engineer's job as a job description, when it really is not job description. So lots of their time is sifting through data, manually curating it.
It is lacking in terms of what they're looking for or how they want to go about it. We've been working on a certain project that has actually changed on the modeling side 2 to 3 different times.
For an SME, the model-based enterprise can be daunting, and there can be many challenges, and it can be very expensive given the constraints that they're under. And so we need to clearly define better the minimum information that they need and the minimum information that they need to return in this enterprise, so that we can smartly adjust to the resources, applications that they need to employ, and the training for those applications aligned to those very clear information inputs and outputs.
If we can better communicate use cases, we can alleviate the tensions between the OEMs and the suppliers and get one step closer to a digital transformation.